Good evening, everyone. I know I'm late, but you know what? I figured some people like a later stream, so technically I'm not disappointing anyone. Also, I felt sick, so I feel a bit better now. Oh, reverb's on? Yeah, I would do that, wouldn't I? I would do that. That is something I would do. So late, I know. Apologies to the Kiwis. They are the losers of this stream, but Saturday is the day stream and then Sunday night. So, you know. A wizard is never late. How were your last 2 days? Well, as you all may have noticed, Magic the Gathering flew me to Sydney to try out a new product. I have worked all day because I've got to put out some content for them. But I had so much fun. And if you didn't see, I spent hours making that cosplay. Hours and hours and hours and hours. So when I said I couldn't tell you what I was doing, I spent hours. Watch out, guys. She got all the lands. No, I did get lands. I was top decking. Like, it was... there was one point in the one match that I played where I was definitely top decking and I was only drawing lands and it was not very fun. Top decking is when you run out of cards in your hand because you haven't put enough card draw in or whatever, or you just get like you just run out of a hand. I ran out of a hand. No, Will, not at all. Not even close. Not even close, but I'm very happy to be included because I love playing cards with my friends has been life-saving for me in these trying times. It really has. You can't do that, Ultimate D-Man. Will we get to see the outfit on stream? I could be convinced. I'm not above bribery. I could be convinced. It's just so much effort to put it all on. And it's not a particularly comfortable situation either. I don't know if you saw what was on my head or if you can see the bruise that I'm currently rocking right here. But on my head was braids, a wig cap, the wig, the crown, the horns, and the elf ears. If you can imagine the sensation that is that, I was so brave. Yeah, I mean, am I looking really strong? No, I'm not. Don't look at me. It is 100% more head than I usually have. Anyway, it's heavy with luck, so it's best to wear it for pack cracking. Speaking of pack cracking, do you know what I'm doing tomorrow? I am driving to the country and back, all right? Why? Because I need the packs, like desperately, and I need to pick up Pixel's meds. So, that is 4 hours in the car tomorrow. Yeehaw. It's fine. I'm so chill about it. I'm so chill about it. I'm just gonna put a book on. I'm just gonna put a book on and we're gonna do. Undead, I worked really hard, but I had so much fun making it with my friends. I can't tell you how much Kerry helped me. Like, just showing me how to do things. She sewed my skirt together. I cut out all the fabric. I picked out all the fabric, cut out all the fabric. Kerry sewed it together for me. She sewed a zip into it for me. I can't stay a night. I have another fucking event, Tiny. Chat, I'm gonna be so real. I am living above my capabilities right now. I'm gonna be so real. I'm loving it. I'm doing it. It's great. But I am in desperate need of a TV day. All I want in my life right now is I want to throw my phone in a bin and I just want a TV day so bad. So bad. Are we getting a Pixel Cottage Korak? What? Where the Cottage Korak? What? Huh? What? Where? What? I can't afford a garden yet. One day, when I have become so funny and pretty and entertaining that I can afford a house, I will have a Cottage Korak for sure. Oh, you mean because of the sewing and the cosplaying? No, it was just so fun crafting with my friends. It was so nice. I have not seen Freerin yet. Guys, does it seem like I've had a minute? I spent like 6 hours today making content. And you know me, I'm a terrible content creator. The content I make is with my great personality and my quick wit and adorable charm, not editing. All right? And editing is hard for me. And then I have to look at myself, and that's hard for me. I'm not good. I'm not good at it. I'm a bit nervous, but it'll be okay. I'm trying really hard. I'm in try-hard mode. But the event itself, you guys, oh my God. I have never been in Sydney and had a good time. This is the first time in my entire life that I've had a good time in Sydney. Truly. Like, seeing the bridge, you know, from the room, like, stop it. And just playing cards and dressing up, getting ready with Ruby was so fun. The flower arrangements themselves were insane. Party hardy. And we stayed in this really beautiful hotel as well. And it had like, they weren't like anything super fancy, but they were nice. Like, they were nice rooms to stay in. And guess what? Checkout was at 11 a.m. 11. That's right, 11 a.m. Not 10 a.m. 11 a.m. 11. Macca's, lol. Pixel, why are you digging there? No, baby. I needed the sleep in because the event finished at like 10:30, but we went out of there until 11. Then we went back to the hotel by 11:30, and then the hotel place closed at 12:30. And then Ruby sent me a message and she's like, how would you feel about some McDonald's chips? And at this point I was like, please. Yes, please. So then she showed up at my room with Macca's chips. Now, did the Macca's chips have gluten? Almost fucking definitely. Is that why I'm feeling a little bit under the weather? Probably. But I figure if I'm gonna have gluten, it should be just before the doctor, before I have my procedure next week. But the 11 a.m. checkout was delightful. Well, no, I haven't blamed the seafood, although the seafood we had wasn't very good. And like the seafood was that bad that I left a review. Like, I left a bad review. That's how, like, it was not tasty. Like, it tasted bad. It was not good seafood. I left a bad review. And I don't really go out of my way to leave bad reviews ever. Like, because I'm not a hater. Yeah, I'll leave a good review because I want to support places. Never do I leave bad reviews. But this place, I was like, no, this needs a bad review. Yeah, but the cross-contamination in the oil tasty from frying like the nuggets or whatever. Yeah, look, I feel okay. It's just you know when you're out of routine and then all of a sudden your energy levels are all over the place. I think I'm sensitive to my own, you know, out here trying to destroy small business owners. Yeah, the small business owners on Darling Harbour. Yeah, the real mum and pop business owners. Lol. I don't know, Party Hattie. I don't know how we managed it either. Hi, Negotiate. Hello, everyone. I don't think I've said hello to anybody tonight, but welcome. So thanks for letting me have 2 days off to go on a little adventure. I finished my book. I finished it on the plane, on the way there, on the way back. And I finished it basically just as we landed on the way back. So I am now starting The Will of the Many. All right. So if you would like to read the same book as me over the next little while, the next fantasy that I'm tandem reading, I'm still reading The Courage to Be Happy as well. But the next fantasy I'm tandem reading is The Will of the Many. I know some of you have already read it. But I downloaded it onto my Kindle earlier today, and that is the next one on the list. But I did finish Morning Star, and I liked it. Am I glad I read Red Rising? Yes, I enjoyed it a lot. I don't want to spoil it, but I was happy with the ending. On one of the plane rides, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. No fucking way. I fucking hate you. How dare you? What do you mean? And then by the end of the book, I was like, huh, fine. Actually, do you know the best food I had in Sydney? We went to Laksa King, and I had Hainanese chicken rice. And I tell you, Hainanese chicken rice out of an authentic Malaysian restaurant. Oh, well, even though it's Singaporean. Oh my God, it was so good. It's my favorite thing. I know it's the most bland looking dish. You know, it's just white rice and white chicken with barely, but it's a flavorful sauce, but the sauce doesn't really have any color. It's like quite clear. And so you're like looking at a plate of relatively bland looking food, but oh my God, I just love it. I don't know what it is about it. I'm like oh my God, I'm a gym bro. Oh my God, I'm a chicken and rice gym bro without the gym. Wow. Well, that's an identity crisis waiting to happen, but delicious. All of the food, none of the gains. Speak for yourself. I'm fit-ish. I'm fit-ish. Sort of. Now I'm insecure. Gosh. If only someone would make me feel better. Sorry. Oh. The KFC secret menu popcorn chicken salad? Damn. See, I'm pretty sure if I ate KFC these days, I would literally just die. Maybe. Which is so sad. I used to love KFC. Ooh, a sea urchin sashimi? Ocean snot. Right, okay. You can consume it on my behalf, Tiny. I'm not saying it's not great. My dad used to work there. My dad worked at KFC growing up. And When him and my mom first started dating, he'd bring her KFC from working at KFC while they were at uni. He'd bring her like mashed potato and gravy and shit. It's romance. Okay, KFC was romance to me. In my mind, I was like, that's cute. That's such an 80s thing. I wish my dad worked at KFC. That's so funny. Also chat, at this stage, I have a sponsored stream. This is particularly for you, Party Hardy. I have a sponsored stream Sunday night. So if you would like to support that, I would be ever so grateful. But it's totally fine if you can't make it. But I'm just saying that is the night that it is. You don't have to do anything to get me money. You just have to show up, maybe enjoy the content. You don't have to make me seem cool. That would be nice. But also, Party Hardy, I'm going to do pack openings Saturday during the day. And then I'll save a few for Sunday. Because I need my hands on my collector booster box so bad. How close are we to the horse dream? Miss Niece, we're so far from having a horse. We're so far. Do you know how many ponies it takes to get a horse? It's like at least 100 ponies. Making you seem cool is a lot. Can we not just give you money? Well, I feel like giving me money does make me seem cool. I know, I just wanted to give you a heads up because, you know, I know you enjoy the magic content. Wait, we don't have to give subs so you can get 1 or 2 extra bonus subs from a sponsor? Oh my God, I got like 18 emails from Twitch saying that I could do a sponsored stream for bonus subs, and I was like, I didn't even open the email. And then there were like 15 emails that came through, and I was like, huh? What is this? I don't understand. What is... Yeah. Tiny it is, yes. Yeah, no. It's just, yeah. Hi, Blue. Welcome on in. Anybody else who is just joining us this evening, hello. I am back from Sydney. I have finished my book. I wore my cosplay that I spent hours and hours making over the last couple of weeks, and it turned out really good, and I was really happy with it. And I think I might have also got my hands on the card that I cosplayed. Have a debate because I took my trade binder to pre-release and I was just showing it around, and I was like, oh, do you want anything out of this? And they were like, oh, leave it with us, we'll have a look. And then the guy who was looking through it, he's like, there's definitely some stuff in here that I would like. They're like doubles that I have or that I'm just not using. Nothing, all my good stuff is in my wholesome, lovely binder. But he was like, also, I just wanted to let you know that I pulled the card that you're cosplaying. And I was wondering if you wanted it. And I was like, yes, I do. Yes, I do want that card. Can we see Papa? She's right there. She's right there. She's right there. Running. Yappy dog. Not my yappy dog. She's responding to a yappy dog. Arrgh. Do you know I still get to do one more draft? The content isn't even over. I still get to go to one more drafting event, and I bought my own draft night box, but I'll tell you about that on Sunday. I'm so dehydrated. Guys, at the event, there were these margarita cocktails. And I didn't have to pay for them. Well, I found out that alcohol dissolves gluten. So if you accidentally do eat gluten, which I feel like I was accidentally eating gluten, if you drink alcohol, it actually breaks down the gluten and makes you less likely to get glutened. You just have a hangover. And I did have a hangover. Just a little one, because I am no spring chicken, all right? I mean, I'm a chicken, but I'm no spring chicken. You know what I mean? I think since you started, I've been buying a box every set and doing sealed with friends, and socially it's always a great time, but gameplay not so much. The sets I have liked for gameplay so far, I loved Edge of Eternities, and I think this one's pretty good. I think this set for gameplay is not too bad. I feel like Avatar might have been a little complicated, but I didn't mind earthbending as a mechanic. But it's not necessarily about the gameplay for me. I don't have to play at a super high level. What I want to do is be stupid with my friends. / sassy. / a little aggressive. Do you know what I mean? I need an outlet. All right? You guys just don't cut it. Like I need an outlet. Oh, it's more the cards I'm getting in my sealed pool are not great. Oh, well. Tell you what. I can just tell you. The reel's coming out and you all have to engage with it or we're not friends. But I did not pull any good cards last night. So in the pick 2 draft format, you like pass them around. I didn't get any good cards, and guess what the first card I got was? A fucking goblin. And then I had a goblin synergy, and in my head I knew that Ruby was going to be picking all the goblins next to me, and then Alyssa pulled a goblin too. So here I am staring down at goblins being like, oh my fucking god, I have to play goblins. Anyway, I ended up building a goblin deck, and it worked a little bit, but then then it was not working because I was only drawing lands. Did you watch Trump talking last night? Sure did. Yes. The geopolitical state of the world is currently in shambles. Although I found him leaning on the podium wild. A full-blown house deposit, so...
Well, will you look at that? Without me being here goes 72 months of freely giving you monies on the interwebs, based upon the current topic. When it comes to alcohol use, the buffalo theory, Google it. Furthermore, what do hospitals use to kill germs? Alcohol. So really you're actively trying to keep your body healthy. Meow 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 meow. 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 Meow.
So Macron wearing the aviators was a political
Meow.
statement.
Meow.
Have you guys
Meow.
talked about this on any
Meow.
other stream?
Meow.
Macron's aviator political statement? Like, have we analyzed this already? Has somebody else analyzed it? No one has? Guys, so when you think of aviators, what do you think of? Top Gun? America? Where do you think aviators are made? And who are they owned by? They're owned by Europeans and they're made in China. So Macron wearing aviators was, I truly think deep down it was a like a threat, like a political statement. Not a threat, but it was just like a, let me just point this out to you. Oh no, I'm not ruining the aviator. You can wear aviators, I don't care. Guys, we're living under late stage capitalism. If wearing a pair of aviators makes you happy, abso-fucking-lutely do it. What do you mean? What do you mean? I do not care. I truly, I know people are like, you are what you consume, right? I just don't want you to consume too much. Consume stuff you actually like and try not to feel too bad about it. Maybe not Starbucks. Do you know what I mean? Engage in like targeted protest if you want to. But like, again, I don't care if you're buying cheap clothes because you have to. Like, if you can do better, if you can thrift, sure. Make the good decisions where you can make the good decisions. But I am never going to critique anybody living in this. You know, I'm spending some money on cardboard, all right? I have no leg to stand on. I have a pile of cardboard to stand on. That's all I got, all right? So, oh no, Putty Hattie, you're fine. But yeah, Trump leaning on the podium, him being like, yeah, Newsom was my friend. He's a good guy, Newsom. He's a good guy. Bro, it's actually wild. At least after World War III, you can use the cardboard to keep warm. You know what? You know who will need a couple of card games? Me. Post-apocalypse walking around with my jumpstart boosters. Like, everybody's just wandering around looking for cans of food. You know, they're sitting around a fire and I show up with 4 jumpstart boosters and a big smile on my face and everybody's in a good mood. And then I'll sing them a little song because I can sing on tune without any music in the background and they'll feel joy. And that's revolutionary spirit, all right? So, look, I will have a role. I'll probably be dead. I'll have a role. If I'm still alive, I will have a role to play. And you know, I know first aid and I can cook and I am really good at making fire. So that's really valid, Cranky. That's so valid. And thank you for the 72 months and the meows. I can't believe you have a 120-acre block. That's crazy. According to official sources, the Sunnies were to cover up a subconjunctival hemorrhage. This is not the first official appearance he wore to the either. We're not reading too much into this. I don't know. I think the choice of sunglasses is interesting, but, you know, it could be. I think these people have teams of optics. You know? I don't know. If you haven't seen, is it Station 11? If you haven't seen Station 11 and you enjoy post-apocalyptic media, Station 11 is a really interesting one. Yeah, I love the show The Diplomat. Some of those appearances were before the most recent Trump Greenland threats. Okay, maybe not. I will say, I thought the nicest speech came out of Carney. How did you all feel about that? Like, I watched it and like, I may not agree with everything, but at least he speaks well. And apparently he wrote the whole speech himself. And Iris Sydney was really good. It was so much fun. Canadian one, Calypso. As an Aussie, how do you feel about Elbow? I'm kind of like neutral. I'm neutral. I don't know if he is particularly, I don't know if he's doing that well right now. But I feel pretty neutral about it because I think we're in a really shit spot where I don't think Albanese can make very good decisions either way because of America / other political forces that seem to be forcing Australia's hand. I will say, I think these hate speech laws are problematic. And which is what a sentence, right? It's just, they're not well thought out. The critique of them is important. I think he was right. There was what was the quote he said? Nostalgia is not a strategy. And he's just not wrong. Nostalgia is not a strategy, and it is half the problem we face as a global collective, because people have, you know, what do you call it? What's the bias? You see the past through rose-colored glasses. It's there's a word for it and it's skipping my mind right now. Hi, Louie. And here I thought we'd all live in a pig's castle. Follow Stan, if I've ever gotten to a point where I could buy one, we would, all right? But it's really not looking like I'm going to hit billionaire status before we, you know. Ray is so good. Hey, Louie. I love Ray. Hey, Daniel. I mean, you're probably already a millionaire in Zimbabwe. Yeah, that news article that got written about me, that's where they got the millionaire status from. It's so good. I really enjoy her music too. It's like jazz, but poppy, and she's such a talented singer. And I've seen video clips of her making the music, and she is so hands-on. It's all her. She's an independent. You know, it's just, oh, so good. Yeah, I do. Which one? I would like a ring, I would like a ring, I would like a shiny ring on my wedding finger. I would like a big and shiny diamond that I could whip around and talk about it. And when the day is on the day, I could never doubt it. Oh, I just do, I do, I do, I do. That one? Baby, where the hell is my husband? Sorry. I feel like I stimmed a little too long. Yeah, my Poggies requested Worth It. Would you make it alright? Make it that much better. If you wanted, you could make it all worth it, worth it, worth it, worth it all. When I see the sun rising, you make it that much better. That one? Are you having a stroke? Oh, Tiny went digging. Henry Julian. I think, aren't aviators though the style? Heaven forbid a woman have fun on the internet. Not me. I've never been known to have fun. Not once. No, 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 no. Anyway, enough about me. How's everybody else been? Besides consuming the absolute dooming shit pile that is the global political status. Yes, but I'm pretty sure that would include Henry Julian. Double check where the brand Henry Julian is from. Is it a French brand? Fine, avoided getting invaded for now. Slay. Personally, bad. This all feels very bad to me. It's going to be bad. I think the reason that I am like this is because I have already accepted that it's going to be bad. But my dad has spent my whole life telling me, if you spend your life worrying about things, you experience the stress of any given situation over and over again instead of just once. Now, that being said, I experience anticipatory grief all the time, but sometimes you have to process that things are going to be bad. Like, that's just the reality. It could all happen tomorrow. That's why you have to just live. Dad trauma? Oh my God, I think I'm just gonna ban you, baby. I'm so sorry, but you're just like not really adding to the vibe. Also, I have a great relationship with my dad. So, I'm sorry. I literally ban you because you're annoying. And as is my right. All the best. I've shifted my focus entirely to worry about things I can control. It's not that our futures aren't written. They're not. But you can't let it take you. Because I remember feeling this way during the pandemic. I remember feeling this way during so many moments of my life. And through my experience, I have just realized the world could end tomorrow. Someone can put it on. Send it to the mods. It could end right now. I could have a heart attack right now. Honestly, sometimes I kind of feel like I am having one. No, this is the thing. The world might end and you might have to go to work the next day. If you don't journal, I would really highly recommend it. Because you have to if you have the brain capacity, you have to approach what you can do with some semblance of the reality that everything could go wrong at any time, but everything can go right. And this is not me trying to be toxically positive about the state of things or anything like that, because I am under the same impression as you, Vox. I don't think things are going to go well from here. Not for a while. I think we will spend a few years coming up of our lives witnessing suffering, maybe experiencing suffering, and having to navigate our lives under a system that is crumbling, a global system that is crumbling. We don't know what that's going to look like. And it could also happen a lot slower or a lot quicker than anybody thinks. And it's so valid to sit there and feel bad about things sometimes, because trust me, I've done it. But you can't, I mean, Vox, absolutely. But like, what are you going to do about it? You can't sit in it. I don't know about you. I feel like I've already experienced a Holocaust 2.0, witnessing what happened in Gaza. I'm already there. The clips out of Sudan. What's been going on in Ukraine for the past 3 years? Like, I don't think you understand how much work I've had to do to... I'm not trying to be flippant about the nature of where we're at with things. Not even slightly. And I'm not trying to be like, it's not that bad. It is that bad. But you have to look at the status of your life and what you want to do about it. And I really think that if you are only consuming the state of the world from an insular place day in, day out, it's only going to fuck your anxiety up over and over again. Well, at least it's Nash. I see, Tiny. Action is the antidote to despair. You just have to live, no matter what your circumstances look like. You know? I know that there are going to be things that happen I am going to have to scream about. I know that. But also, I also feel, this is going to sound like I feel privileged, right? Because imagine how long I have spent connected to the geopolitical landscape. Sure, over the last few months, I have not been as connected, but I have been offline. I just haven't been presenting things the way I necessarily used to, right? But I feel quite privileged because the amount of thinking I have had to do to be able to consume that content and then show up and not be crazy is pretty big. And so I guess it's been a privilege that I've been led down this path of having to be informed, having to consume the news, but then also I can't show up here and be like, well, fuck, chat, the world's ending. So I will have an occasional Nest stream. But, you know, I only ever want to show up and make you feel empowered. And not, hey.
Full-blown house deposit. So
One of the things going right is still having this privilege of experiencing you and what you share here. I feel that after all this time still, a great value in engaging with and supporting all this. Through the gloom of the world, I'm just grateful for this oasis of respite.
Landa, thank you for the 79 months. Neolibs don't have a problem with fascism, only the optics. They're not trying to find solutions to it. They are the principal enablers of fascism. I mean, they're not the principal enablers of fascism. The fascists are the principal enablers of fascism. And I do think that neoliberals play a role in not knowing enough sometimes as well. Like, but there are people, I don't think you understand how many people are politically apathetic. I spend a lot of time talking to people outside of my circles. Nobody knows. Nobody pays attention. Nobody even watches the news. Guys. Just being so real. And if they do, they watch highly manufactured news. For me, it's about replacing worrying about things. I can't control what Trump says about Greenland, but I can control how I talk about it. I can control how and when I read about it. I can figure out steps in my own life to reduce my reliance on US goods and services and so on. That's what I mean. Even lefties and libs don't want to keep up with anything. I mean, this is what capitalism does. You get swamped. They make it impossible. They make it impossible. I mean, how many political streamers have you seen come and go while I've been here? Sure, there have been a bunch that have stuck around, but how many have you seen come and go? It's fucking hard. Sorry, I swear so much. I'm such a potty mouth. But swearing is anti-fascist, so fuck me. People burn out, some get banned. It's really, it's hard work, guys. Exactly, so Giles, and I think that's really important to remember. Also, I need to let you know that, like, there is a list of things that you should try and keep up with, but you don't have to do it all day, every day. It is normal Australian, I think. You don't have to do it all day, every day, you guys. I think when I was a baby leftist and I was like in the throes of understanding oppression and systems of oppression and everything that comes along that path, I was just like, how are more people not paying attention? And I was like, and I really just threw myself into it. And I feel like maybe we all go through that period, and that's why I'm quite gentle with anybody who is, just starting a politically engaged journey. But you need balance or you will die. Your immune system will give out. Do you know what's really scary? I think it's because I've talked about it so much with Fradley, but I get a lot of clips on my For You page about ME/CFS. And like, you need to look after your nervous system. You need to eat well. You need to experience moments of no stress. Truly. I know, Vox, it's so hard. People are awful to just normal Americans. I know. It must be hard. I'll just ban that account. The older you get, the more you realize you have to pick your battles. I mean, you spend your whole life building your moral foundation, right? What are the battles that are important to you? What are the things you will show up for? I know what I will show up for. But like, I feel like I had to consider this as soon as like Friendly Geordies got like firebombed, and as soon as I was stalked, and as soon as, you know, there have been so many examples of things that have happened where I have realized that having any sort of online presence is it's a risk to your life, right? It just is. And so I've been sitting with that a while, and I'm pretty good about it, but like that sits in the back of my mind. There are days when I'm like, I need to delete myself off the internet. But you need to be careful with extreme stress because of ME/CFS. Bradley, oh my gosh, that's exciting. That's really exciting. Because I actually follow a lot of ME/CFS creators now, because I just, like, I think we don't understand the lasting effects of viral infections, and I've had so many. Like, even today I was trying to remember the name of my doctor and I couldn't. Like, it was hard for me to find. But I laid there and I just thought about it and I connected the dots, but absolutely, Landa. Absolutely. You know what, though? I'm getting put to sleep next week, and with anesthesia, and I know I'm going to wake up from that or not. Sorry if I don't. But if when I wake up from that, and I just know I'm going to feel like I've had the best sleep of my life. So, woohoo! Yay! I don't know. Chat, you can answer this for me. What in this landscape, what do you see my role as for you? Like, if you had to describe why you show up here, why is that? Is it because it's a safe place to talk about things while it's still kind of light? Is it because I'm reliable? Well, this isn't a question for the mods. I've looked around. I know the other content people are making. I'm filling the gap I feel like needs filling. I don't want to react to shit all day every day. I just don't. It's not fun for me. I don't want to. I like talking with you guys. This content right here, this is the content I like making. And I love singing too. I don't want to react to things all day. It's, you know? Also, it is Max on Thursdays. Champagne, shut up. Hi, Ruggis. Surely you can yap like this while playing a game then? I mean, sure, but I have to pay rent. Like, I took basically a month off. Guys, and when I play games, it just doesn't go that way. Yeah, I love the Discord. Will Neff was just talking about that same problem. Which problem? I can't yap like this when you play games. I can't focus on chat as much. Also, do you know how much stuff I know about all of you? In an odd, creepy way. You don't remember that shit if you're playing a game. I want you all to play Magic the Gathering. All right? I want you all to leave your houses and play Magic the Gathering. Go to your local game store. All right? Play Magic the Gathering. And then start a cult of your own. Cult. You know what I mean? You could all have whistles. You could have whistle meetups and play Magic the Gathering while whistling or something, you know? Miss Nis, I don't know anything about you.
I show up because you bring a calm to the pace of the day. It's a resource that helps to feel safe and expressive. Learning healthy means to reinforce how we feel. And the beauty of the joys of your life you share reminds me of things worth fighting for.
Oh my god, that's so nice. You win. You're my new favorite chatter. The rest of you could learn a thing or two. That's how you give a compliment. That's so nice. You make a good point, Lenda. Thank you for the $5. What do you mean there was no donor alert? Yes, there was. Yeah, there was. Oh, I see. I'm not good enough? What do you mean? Did you donate too? What? Huh? What? Huh? What? What? Huh? What? There was a visual alert, guys.
I show up because you bring a calm to the pace of the day. It's a resource that helps to feel safe and expressive. Learning healthy means to reinforce how we feel. And the beauty of the joys of your life you share reminds me of things worth fighting for.
Oh, maybe not. Try it, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Like, you can pay $50 and go in and play for a pre-release if you want to, right? You don't have to, once you've got a few decks, you don't have to keep getting new decks if you don't want to. Like, I know for a fact that if you wanted to get into MTG, there is a Star Trek set coming out later in the year. That would be the set. And you don't get it because you are going to play every set and buy every card. That's not a thing. It's the same reason I loved Edge of Eternities, because it's space, but there's a Star Trek set coming out. Think about it. Oh, that Evan, that's very nice of you to say. Also, like, I know for a fact, Trya, that you played D&D. MTG could be a nice replacement. You just have a couple of decks and you go in and you play a little bit. You don't have to you know, pay all the money. Even I'm getting the Star Trek set and I haven't played in years. This is a full-blown house deposit, so...
I'm here cause it's 4 a.m. and this place is comfy.
Chicago's, thank you so much for the 53 months. And the nice, kind words. I'm really grateful. See, Bradley, that's delightful. And you love Final Fantasy, right? I remember. No, you're just bad at the game, Splint. How much have you spent on MTG cards over how long? I've probably spent at least 1,500 over when I started playing. But obviously I'm in a lucky position where I'm also a creator, and since Edge of Eternities I've been sent some stuff, so no, but you can buy the Star Trek decks and then just meet some people and play Star Trek. You could play a Star Trek deck. Like you meet people. Also, most game stores host Commander nights where you can show up with a Commander deck that you've made and just play it with people. I don't want to gamble I don't gamble. I mean, I have gotten pretty lucky. Josie says that I only have a relationship with one god, and that is the god of gambling. And I would like to extrapolate that to say that it's just the god of luck. And occasionally, I have just been very lucky in some areas of my life, not so much in others. But for some reason, there have been moments in my life where things have happened to me, and I have been very lucky. I love Gwent. What do you mean? My whole Witcher playthrough was like, ooh, Gwent. Yeah, I can't digest gluten, but I can pull a good card once in a while. Chat, I'm not even good at the game. Like, I'm kind of good. I'm not good. I know some things that are happening now most of the time, but truly, I play cards because it is fun to play with your friends. Oh, well, la-di fucking da, salmon. I mean magic. I mean, I was pretty good at poker too. Nothing super Chat, I've only ever been average at everything I've ever done in my life. I'm of average height, average attractiveness, average intelligence. I'm an average singer. I'm averagely funny. I'm averagely good at poker and magic. I'm averagely fit. I can kayak with bull sharks. Although there have been 4 shark attacks recently in Sydney, which has been really scary. No, I was a pretty good dancer, right? But I think because I tried so hard to be a perfectionist at dancing, I am really okay with being just kind of good at everything. But I'm also willing to be bad. Because who cares? I have no shame. Well, no, there were sharks where I was kayaking. And I went swimming in the water because I was feeling brave. I don't know. I was feeling a little brave. Imagine I got eaten by a shark. That would have been crazy. Maybe next year. My family is saying they already want to go back. And I'm like, God, not me having to book accommodation for that already. But I really had a good time with my family, so I don't know. I'll think about it. I just, honestly, so many things people do is, like, I got invited to a wedding. It's not even that far, but it's flights and accommodation, which I'm very excited about because I love love. I love love. I love love, 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 love. And it's going to be so cool, right? It's going to be so incredibly cool. And I'm so excited for my friends. And then there's a little trip for my friend's 30th birthday coming up in the middle of the year. So I have that to look forward to. Again, nothing super crazy, but I will be gone for a week. So you'll have to miss me terribly. Oh my God. I'll pencil in the election night for fuck's sake. When is it? November. Seventh, you said, wasn't it? NZ election stream. There's already so much shit here. When are US midterms? Actually, I don't want to know. We'll figure it out. The 3rd of November? Okay, so November's a rough month for all of us. That's cool, that's cool. We've got to make it that far first, I guess. I'm sure there's like 2 Kiwis that'll appreciate it, truly. Star Trek is November 2, I think. Well, at least we've got that to look forward to. I don't know where to start. Guys, I mean, One Kiss from Descendants 3. What? Who? What? I do not know. I do not know. Question. Do I watch Deep Space Nine for Star Trek? I'm trying to think of which one I should have as like a comfort show for the next little while. Is it Deep Space Nine or The Next Generation? Come on, Trekkies. I've watched the movies and I've watched episodes here and there and I've watched a bit with my dad. What do you mean? I can't skip season 1? Oh, I do love a Planet of the Week. You know, I do love a Planet of the Week situation because of Q is like you? Would you tell someone to start with Atlantis or SG-1? SG-1. TNG is SG-1. Oh, okay. Gosh, I hope I can find somewhere to watch Star Trek The Next Generation. I hope I will be able to find somewhere. I think I will be able to find somewhere. Oh, I loved Farscape. One day that's not gonna work? Nah, it's gonna work forever. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? It's gonna work forever. And ever. And ever. And ever. And ever and ever and ever. You'll be back. Well, I just feel like I want to watch a little bit over the next week as well because I'm doing a Star Trek one-shot D&D campaign next week. And I need to flesh out a character. Oh my god, I love Firefly Victoria. Hi. Yeah, I'm still mad about it. I have a Stargate tattoo. And I just finished reading Red Rising and I'm about to start The Will of the Many. Love The Expanse, love Foundation, all of it. For All Mankind is still sitting there. I'm 3 episodes in. Guys, if I was richer, I'd have more time. All right, subscribe today. Okay? Have you watched the documentary series called Black Mirror? I have actually, yeah. Babylon 5 is the reason I have one of my best friends. Cannon Kings. I was standing in a bar and Josie walked over to me and somehow she noticed my tattoo and she's like, what's your tattoo? And I'm like, it's a Stargate tattoo. And she's like, oh, you like sci-fi? I was like, yeah, I love sci-fi. And she's like, have you watched Babylon 5? That's my favorite sci-fi. And I was like, no, I haven't. I'm like a huge Stargate nerd. But that was one of our first conversations. And now we have been friends for years. And I was her bridesmaid. And she's the one running the Star Trek fucking one shot. So she'll help me. I'm catching up with her tomorrow night. I have to go to an event tomorrow night, but it'll be fun. When I say I have to, I don't have to. I get to go to an event tomorrow night and my friend will be there and I get to see her and I'm sure we'll talk about it. I did say, can I have an accent? She's like, yeah, you can be like a fireman thing. What's your favorite show ever? Oh, I don't know. Queen's Gambit, I think. But I love The Expanse. And I love Stargate SG-1. And then Frieren as well. I can't pick one show. I love TV. Okay? What do you mean? I can't pick one show? Guys, come on. Have you seen Outlander? I went to Scotland and touched a rock because of Outlander. The last season comes out soon. I'm so excited. I'm also watching Blood of My Blood. Okay? But I didn't want to say Outlander because Outlander is quite dark. And it's, even though I love it because it's incredible, I feel like I can't recommend it to people, really, just because of the traumatic scenes in there. There's like a lot of sexual assault, which is fucked up. So, I don't feel like I can recommend it. But I personally, yeah, it's just dark. But I love the setting. I love the idea. No, it's not in Frieren, in Outlander. It turns out Netflix is not getting Frieren for a few months. Oh, that sucks for people who only have Netflix. Same is true for Game of Thrones. I mean, I liked Game of Thrones as well. Guys, you can watch things through a lens, but it's obviously dependent on your life experience and who you are. That's why, you know, you can't... Sometimes there's just things that you can't recommend to people. I haven't watched the first episode of season 2 yet, Zap. Hey, Rangy. I'm hoping this Drunken Night God show is good. I hope so too. It's true, I don't know if they're going to flub the ending, Salmon. That's why my first one I said Queen's Gambit, because it is a perfect... Do you know what I mean? It's just a perfect season of TV. Oh my god, I also loved Fellow Travelers. Like, there's so many mini-series that I've loved. I loved All Her Fault. I really... Guys... I can't remember all the TV I've watched, but I like TV. And I am not afraid to admit it. I like TV, I like books, I like movies. And I really like video games. I just don't really get the time to play video games as much anymore. I want to go back and play more Outer Wilds. I'm actually surprised we haven't had a Pixel Chess arc yet. I play chess in person. I can play chess. But I don't know any of the strategies. I just play and hope for the best. I don't know. I like playing Magic the Gathering because I'm with friends, you know? But a lot of my friends have chess boards in their house. I would love a chess board in my house. My dad said he was going to get me one for one of my birthdays, but then it never ended up happening. But a lot of my friends have chess boards in their houses. And so we'll always play chess, sometimes at parties and stuff. And your room is so cozy looking. Thanks, I made it that way. So that you think I'm cooler than I am. Or you could just tell me I'm cool anyway. Do you still know all the countries? Probably. I reckon I get like 80% on most continents. You played Two-Headed Giant with your son at pre-release last weekend? Great stuff. Hell yeah, that's amazing, Fish. I don't know what the game mechanics of Final Fantasy are because I've never really watched it. I know I don't really like the mechanic of having to beat boss fights. It's just, if that makes sense, like Dark Souls, as I understand you have to learn how to do it, but the repetitive nature of it does not tickle my brain in the same way it tickles other people's brains. Most enjoyable piece of media you've consumed this year. This year hasn't been very long yet. I haven't had any bad days this year though. And I finished my book. I finished Morningstar, the third book in the Red Rising series, and I did enjoy it. I'm trying to think if I've watched any movies. I don't know if I have. I did watch the new Knives Out, but I don't think that was this year. Oh, it was this year? Yeah, maybe that. It was a good movie. Nuremberg was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. That the answer wasn't instantly. I forgot about it. Guys, my brain's fucked. Okay. It was definitely the Lord of the Rings extended editions in which I watched it very thirsty. All right. In Lord of the Rings, you can just make a men whimpering supercut. Don't ask questions. All right. But the supercut is there to be made. Okay. I'm just saying, like, not in a weird way, in like a normal way. Okay, you should see how many times everybody's just like, okay, you just watch it through that lens, all right? Just watch it through the lens, guys. Just watch it through the lens. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, you gotta make it through the first book. It kind of expands out from there, Trya. Obviously, the whole series is not that, but it's the same fucking shit as the Poppy War. Every sci-fi book or every fantasy book I read obviously has like this little schooling section in it, and I feel like it's the only way these authors get published is through that lens. So just read it in the same way that you read the Poppy War and you'll understand. Well, you don't have to read. I've been thinking about this and I've seen conversation about this, so let me know what you think, right? There are people who enjoy reading, and then there are people who use reading as a personality trait. And there is anti-intellectualism, which is pushback against reading for anti-intellectualism's sake. But there is also like this other extreme thing now where reading is almost like performative and like a marker of something that's a little weird. And I don't know what it is, but it is. I don't know what it is. I maybe it's the final performative reading is all over my TikTok. Yeah. Arguably, literature has always been a little pretentious, and I don't want to be that. So even though like over the last the last 22 days, most mornings I have been listening to an audiobook and studying it. And I intend to try and do that for most of the year. And I will maybe talk about it a little bit because I am trying to reclaim my brain from the fucking endless scroll that is scrolling. And then I'm reading a fun book after I've done that. I'm only doing it for like half an hour or an hour in the morning. What'd you miss, Try? Let me know. I compared Red Rising to the Poppy War regarding the schooling section, if that makes sense. But yeah, so I'm getting out of bed in the morning, doing that for a little bit, and it's really starting my day in a much better way than scrolling does. And it feels far more tangible information, and it's changed my perspective a lot. So I'm tandem reading. So I'm doing like one nonfiction and one fiction at the same time. But also I think personally, because I create content, it's so easy to get stuck in the trap of consuming it in order to come up with ideas for yourself or to feel connected to the wider content sphere. And I don't want to read in a performative way, but I am enjoying it, but it is work. Like, it doesn't come as naturally to me as it did when I was a kid. This is a full-blown house deposit. So... Hello? Thank you for the 60 months. I'm so grateful. Oh, Bradley, that sounds cool. Also, sometimes, I don't know if you feel this way about scrolling, but you hear a lot of the same stories over and over. Right? Like, my algorithm feeds me the same shit in 15 different ways. I don't care. Leave me alone. Also, one of the girls I liked watching, who was like this savory girl, turns out she's an ICE supporter. So you really don't know anybody on these short form fucking platforms. Like, truly, I don't try. Ick. Ick, ick, ickity, ick, ick, ick. Yeah, Victoria, it's hard though, right? I love a comfort listen, Karma. Dunder. I support ice. Yeah, the ice on the ground, that's the good tool against ice. No, I don't think you can find true love in a 30-second reel. I did see a really sad video today. We'll just bring it down for a second, of this little kid who was of Asian descent and American, born in America. And he had just come home from playing soccer. And the goalie had said something along the lines of, ICE is going to come and get you and kick you out of the country and send you back to where you came from. And he's like, I was born here. I come from here. And my heart was just broken. This kid was probably about 10. This kid was probably about 10. Kids are cruel, as the saying goes. Sure, but like, I feel like as adults, we're responsible for the temperature that is happening, and that kids picking that up because look at Trump. Look at the people who support that sort of hatred. It filters down to the children. There was a study that just came out of Australia that suggests that Gen Z men are more right-wing than the fucking boomers. And it is because of the content that they have consumed. It's because of the economic situation we found ourselves in and the pushback against so many things, including women. I would never have said anything like that at 10. I hope so too, Fradley, but you just never know. Is there a female Andrew Tate? Who would it be? It's not really like that for women. Women get exploited in all sorts of ways. Look, there's lots of female influencers who will encourage you to go into your dark feminine and only use men for their money and never give them anything else. Do you know what I mean? So, like, there's that. It doesn't exist in the same way because women don't have the same access to power that men do. It doesn't exist in the same way. No, but that's not for women, right? Just Pearly Things is upholding people like Tate. Taylor Swift is the female Tate, you reckon? Yeah, I did see Adolescence. Cardi B drugged men and stole their money. Oh, I know, Sir Giles. Sorry, not all boomers. Not all boomers. No, one of the goalies told him ICE was going to come and get him even though he was born in America. It was just fucking heartbreaking. That makes sense, like how there is no female gays. Oh no, there's a female gays. What do you mean? What do you mean? I swear to God, if men could understand the female gaze, I mean, there is. But it's so different to what people think it is. I feel women are less lonely, so it's not the same path. I had a woman try and sell me an MLM the other day. So, like, we are exploitable. Heated rivalry would like a word with you. I think women just want a comfortable man who actually likes them. The bar is on the floor, guys. I don't like... But there's so much that goes into it. I miss the jazz. I like the jazz being on in the background too. No, so like when we're talking about the male gaze, it's not necessarily to do with institutional power. It's that, so as women, oftentimes we will present ourselves in a way that appeals to the male gaze, if that makes sense, whatever that is. And even in some ways we can't get away from it ourselves. Like, I've said the quote on here so many times, but there's a quote that there's always just a little man in your head because language was written by men. Joe taught me this. It's iragare. Language was written by men, and to be a woman is to be defined by men in some ways as the other. So, women for a very long time have been judged and celebrated by their proximity to men as well. Like how respected you are by powerful men makes you a powerful woman. Like it is your proximity to men that gives you access to power. And so oftentimes women will present themselves in a way that appeals to a particularly male gaze because it gives them access to that power. Now, the female gaze is something different entirely. And I don't think it doesn't necessarily have a relationship with power. I think a female gaze is more just like there's not actually that many women who are out here being like, I only want a man with a full-blown six-pack, that's it. Truly, I don't think that's a thing. Like, sure, you want someone that's fit and healthy and looks after themselves because it shows that they're capable, but that doesn't necessarily, and again, varies across the board. Wait, are we still talking about MTG? No. Mobile app version, I think women just want a man who likes jazz in the background too. Only want a 6-foot man? I don't think so. A lot of women, let me explain this. A lot of women like taller men or men that are taller than them because it makes them feel small. Now, why do they like that? It's because of patriarchy. It's the physical difference that makes them feel safe. Maybe it's evolutionary, I'm not sure, right? But if a man is bigger than you, it can make you feel small, and therefore what do you feel? You feel more feminine. You fit the blueprint for what you perceive yourself to be more comfortably. A lot of people aren't going to know this or think that's why they enjoy a tall man or anything like that. But it can have something to do with that, right? And there are evolutionary psychology behaviors that you can describe, and correct, Sir Giles. Everything changes and everything evolves, and I don't know. Men can be too tall. I would say the cutoff is 6'8". No, but seriously, I don't know. Women can get neck problems from tall men. It's really interesting because I have a lot of girlfriends who are tall and a lot of their partners are shorter than them. So when people say women only like tall men, I'm like, bitch, no, they don't. I have so many examples of that not being the case. You always want what you don't have, G-Rat. But what if the guy likes tall women? Fucking great. I have a lot of tall friends. I just think people say there's a lot of rules, and I mean, there are some generalities, but there are a lot of exceptions. There are a lot of exceptions. One of the best kisses I've ever had in my entire life was with someone my height, so. Just saying. How tall are you? 5'5"? Try it, not the anglerfish. Really? You look like you're at least 6 IMO? Thank you. I'm so tall. I know I have tall person vibes, but I'm not. I know I look tall. I have a tall attitude. It's like, and then I go to hang out with Jo in person and she's taller than me and I get so jealous. I'm like, I wish I was 5'9". Truly. And she's got long legs. It's just so unfair. Oh well, it's easy to be tall next to B. Chat, I'm gonna go get the other half of the burger I ordered today because I'm hungry. Alright? Don't do anything. Long legs, that bitch. No, truly. I'm so jealous. Like, my legs are just normal length. You know, not super long. And I'm so jealous of people with, like, a long leg. It's the ballerina in me. The long leg would have been nice. Imagine being tall but you only have long arms. It's like Slender Man but not slender. I'm sure that happens. Does food mean we start max? That's a great idea. Oh my god, it's like I barely make the content myself. Hold on. Flashbang. Eating like a Victorian workhouse inmate. I'm ready. I'm very upset the burger is cold. Well, I wasn't full hungry before, and I mean, I can't heat it up, so, and I'm not gonna waste it, you know? So what are you gonna do?
Today we're going to make a meal from a Victorian workhouse. And while novels like Oliver Twist might have you think that all they ever ate was watery gruel, and they did eat gruel mostly for breakfast, for dinner you might get something a little bit more interesting, like this dish of scouse and suet dumplings. So thank you to Hungry Root for sponsoring this video as we examine just exactly
closed captions. Big. Bam. Off.
Today we're going to make a meal from a Victorian workhouse, and while novels like Oliver Twist might have you think that all they ever ate was watery gruel, and they did eat gruel mostly for breakfast, for dinner you might get something a little bit more interesting, like this dish of...
I mean, I'd eat it. I want to know what the dumplings are. They're gonna be gluten, aren't they?
Scouse and suet dumplings. So thank you to Hungry Root for sponsoring this video as we examine just exactly how terrible the food in a Victorian workhouse really was. This time on Tasting History. During the Victorian era, workhouses in Britain were nothing new. They had been around for a couple centuries. What did change were the laws governing them. Something called the New Poor Law, as opposed to the Old Poor Law, transitioned these institutions from a place of charity to a place of, if not exactly punishment, to a place of last resort for relief.
Oh.
It was believed that if the workhouse was too comfortable, it would actually entice people to become poor or stay poor just for the free handout. Not that it was exactly free, seeing as you were doing backbreaking work for 10 to 12 hours a day, but still, they considered it a handout. But even in the Victorian era, there were still guidelines of what kind of food to feed the inmates, and that is what they were called, inmates. It was often gruel and a bit of bread and beer for breakfast, then bread and cheese for supper, and in the middle of the day, for dinner, a person could expect a little meat and potato or a stew.
Like, you're literally just having bread and cheese. Unironically, I am having bread and cheese right now, but...
along with some suet dumplings or pudding. So I found 2 recipes meant to be made at workhouses of the Victorian era. One is for a stew, a meat stew called scouse, and the other is for suet dumplings. So the first, for the scouse, it comes from the Manual for Workhouse Cookery from 1901, and it provides a detailed list of the exact ingredients and quantities to make it. So I'm going to use those, but it only makes 1 serving, so I'm going to triple it, but the ratios will all be the same. So for the scouse, what you'll need is 1 pound or 450 grams of beef, 3/4 of a cup or 90 grams of flour, 3 tablespoons or 42 grams of butter or other fat, 340 grams or about 4 small potatoes, 255 grams or 2 large carrots, 85 grams or about a half of a small turnip, and 45 grams or a half cup of diced onion. Then 2 teaspoons of salt and a half teaspoon of pepper. Then the recipe says to cut up the meat and vegetables, fry the flour in the fat till brown, stir in the water, add...
No, I love bread and cheese, but imagine it being your only option.
Pepper and salt, then put in the meat and vegetables. Simmer gently for 2 hours to make 1 pint of stew. Simple and very easy to follow, just like the recipes from today's sponsor, Hungryroot. Hungryroot is a great way to make sure you stick to your New Year's nutrition goals this year, namely because they do all of the weekly meal planning and the grocery shopping, and they screen out a lot of different preservatives and additives like corn syrup and artificial sweeteners. And with over 50,000 chef-crafted recipes to choose from, there is really something for everyone, whether you're watching your calories, trying to get more protein into your diet, or if you're dairy-free or
with the
gluten-free
sawdust,
or vegetarian.
right, Bradley?
And what I really love is that many of them are designed to be made ready in just 15 minutes or less. A wonderful alternative to takeout. So if you want to see why I love Hungryroot, then give them a try, and for a limited time, you'll get 40% off of your first box, plus a free item in...
I love a Max ad read. I don't watch a lot of ads these days, but I love it.
Every box for life. Just use my link in the description, hungryroot.com, and use my code TASTINGHISTORY for 40% off of your first box, plus a free item of your choice in every box for life. That is hungryroot.com, code TASTINGHISTORY. Now let's make some workhouse scouse. So start by chopping up the meat and vegetables. Also, as the workhouse was all about economy, you don't want to peel the potatoes, carrots, and turnips. You just want them to be washed and chopped up. Then we move on to making the soup's thickener by melting the butter in a large pot, then adding in the flour and mixing it together. It's sort of like a very low-fat roux, because instead of the usual 1-to-1 ratio of flour to fat, this one has more of a 2-to-1 ratio, twice as much flour than fat. And that means it can be rather dry, and so really you need to keep stirring it around.
How?
So it doesn't burn. So keep it moving over a medium heat for about 5 minutes until it does finally start to brown but not burn. And then you can pour in a little more than 7 cups of water. The exact recipe would call for 3 imperial pints or 1,700 milliliters. Then give it a good stir and let that come to a simmer, at which point the thickener should dissolve fairly well. Then add in the pepper and the salt, followed by the meat and the vegetables. And give it another good stir and let it return to a simmer, and then place the lid on the pot and let it...
I changed my mind. I mean, this looks good, but would I eat it? I think I could make a better one.
Cook for 2 hours, and every once in a while, give it a good stir and kind of scrape the bottom to make sure nothing is burning to the bottom of the pot. And then really, it's actually ready to eat as is. But if you want some extra energy, if you're breaking up stones into gravel to pave the roads of Britain in a workhouse, then I suggest making some suet dumplings. And so for that, we look to a Scottish book on the management of poorhouses of all sorts, where a Miss F.A. Merchant provides a recipe which calls for 6 ounces of flour, 2 ounces
4 and 20 pie crimes. You literally just nearly made me spit out my burger. That was very funny. I'd need gluten-free flour.
Chopped suet, 1/16 ounce baking powder, 3/4 ounce chopped parsley, salt and pepper. Mix all the dry things, rubbing the suet through the flour. Make into a firm paste with the cold water. Divide into 10 or 12 small pieces, which roll up into balls, having the outsides well floured. Drop the balls into the stew and cook.
Guys, I forget what suet is again. What's suet again? I always forget.
For half an hour longer, then serve. And to make these, what you'll need is just under 1½ cups or 170 grams of flour, and then a heaping 1/3 cup or 55 grams of beef suet. And if you can't find beef suet, that you can get it online, you can use really cold butter. Then a 1/2 teaspoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, and 21 grams of chopped parsley. That is a lot of parsley.
I love
It's actually like an entire bunch of parsley if you're just using the leaves, and then when they're chopped really, really fine, it's about a cup of parsley. So mix the salt, pepper, and baking powder into the flour, and then add the parsley and mix. Once well distributed, you can add the suet, and you want to work that in by rubbing it into the flour with your fingers. And once it is well incorporated, you can add some cold water. I would start with about 1/4 cup of water and only add more if you need it. You want it to be just enough that the dough comes together and can be formed into balls. You're going to make about 10 to 12 dumplings. Once you've rolled your dumplings, you can coat them in a layer of flour, and then 30 minutes before your scouse is done, or about an hour and a half into the cooking, you can add your dumplings into the stew. Gently stir them in so you don't break them up, but you get them nice and coated with the liquid, and then return the lid to the pot and cook for another 30 minutes. And then you can make sure that you're subscribed to Tasting History, hit the like button, it really does help out the channel.
Always.
And we can take a closer look at the food of a Victorian workhouse and decide if it really was as bad as Oliver Twist would have us believe. So I have a book recommendation to start this off with. It is called The Workhouse Cookbook by Peter Higginbottom. It is a super deep dive into this topic, and it is absolutely worth a read. Now, to discuss Victorian workhouses, we really need...
I love that Max tries to show me other ways to consume food history. But I'm going to be very real. The only person I want to consume my food history from is Max. I'm that girl. I'm the problem.
To go back and see why workhouses existed in the first place. And to answer that, we have to go back to one of the most important years in all of British history, 1536. This was the beginning of what was known as the dissolution of the monasteries by Henry VIII. Now, poverty had, of course, always existed in Britain, but for...
Why is Henry VIII so recognizable? He's such a bleh.
Centuries, the degree of homelessness was actually kept at bay because there was a system of charity set up through the monasteries. People could go for alms or sometimes even a bed. But when, in just a few years, those monasteries disappeared, that safety net went with them. Over the next few decades, the amount of beggars on the streets of Britain skyrocketed, and to combat that, the government did things like ban giving alms directly to them, and instead all alms, or help for the poor, had to go through the church common box. And as it happened, a lot of that money never actually made it to the people that it was supposed to be helping.
Oh, wow.
So there was a new system.
Luckily, that changed. Luckily now, money that's intended to help people always gets to them. Phew.
At least in some cities like Colchester, York, and London, that was set up that was essentially a tax to help the poor. This started in the 1550s, and again, it wasn't meant to go directly to people, but rather to prop up institutions that would help people. See, new vagrancy laws like the Vagabonds Act of 1572 and later the Poor Relief Act of 1601 effectively made it illegal to be homeless, and so you would be taken in by one of a series of new establishments. If you were mentally ill, this meant you would go to a hospital or asylum, the most famous being the Bethlehem or Bethlehem Hospital, also known as Bedlam. Then there were poorhouses for those who were too old to work, or jail or prison for those who refused to work, those who were known as the idle poor. And for those who could and were willing to work, the able-bodied poor, there was the workhouse. Now, the workhouse...
Yeah, none of that sounds great, eh? Fuck. Interesting that we never stopped criminalizing the homeless. You think we could have done that by now, but no.
Was not meant to be a punishment, but rather an act of charity that would help lift you out of poverty until you can move along your way. It wasn't exactly anyone's first choice, but it wasn't the worst option out there. In 1732, it was written, it is remarkable.
Lesson 3.
Dottie, 29 months, and a sneaky too. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much.
Remarkable that all the parishes in Southwark except St. Thomas's have set up large workhouses for the reception of their numerous poor, which are so well regulated that as fast as there is any vacancy, interest is made by the poor themselves to be admitted. In those years, the work tended to be that of spinning flax, hemp, and wool, and the food was simple, but not far off from what the majority of the population was eating, with plenty of porridge, bread, cheese, and beer, along with some roast or boiled meat, and even plum pudding.
All I think it was just not a great time to be gluten-free. Do you know what, being gluten-free in this day and age meant death.
Once a week. And if you should fall sick while in the house, you'd actually be given claret or wine, fish, oysters, or even chocolate to help cure you. Of course, just like with any institution, the quality varied depending on where you were and who was running it. In the early 1700s, there was a man named Matthew Marriott who ran a few of these workhouses, and he kept gathering more and more, and eventually had basically a monopoly on an entire area of the country with these workhouses. And as he gained that monopoly, quality went down, as is often the case, and a lot of issues.
In the most parasocial way ever. This is him being political. He's never overtly political, ever. But he's literally here telling us, hey, monopolies are bad. Monopolies are bad. Wow, that's so crazy. Maybe we should stop letting everything monopolize. Except for Amazon. I love you, Daddy Amazon. Don't ever forget it. I love you so much, okay?
Ended up happening. There were incidents of torture and starvation and all of those kinds of things. And it culminated...
Oh, maybe they weren't allowed to drink out of their water bottles or go to the bathroom.
In a famous ballad, a song written about a woman who actually died in one of the workhouses. The song, which came out in 1731, was called The Workhouse Cruelty, and it was about a woman named Mary Whistle, who was a housekeeper who lost her position and eventually found herself having to enter the workhouse. And there, she did something to offend the governor who was in charge of the workhouse. It's not specific what she did or what he did, but they threw her down into the basement. There for 11 weeks, poor soul, she lay, half starved, ate up with vermin, as they say.
Oh,
holes
my
in
God.
her legs, her arms, her hips, her thighs, the vermin eat, and in her head likewise. So essentially she died and was eaten by rats. It's really quite sad. And
oh my God, Max!
it became an incredible hit throughout Britain, and it actually had consequences for Matthew Marriott, who was stripped of his power over all these workhouses and ended up dying the next year.
Justice.
Now, it is during this period, the 18th century, that many people's perception of the poor starts to change, and it is best exemplified by the perception of two drinks of the period, one being beer, the other gin. Beer, typically low alcoholic small beer, was the drink of choice for most of society, and in workhouses, men got 2 pints a day, and women and children got 1. Though if you were engaged in hard labor, you would actually receive more. At one workhouse in Suffolk, the washerwomen received 8 pints a day. Beer was a wholesome drink and is depicted in William Hogarth's 1751 print Beer Street, which shows prosperous and productive members of society all drinking beer. But gin, a new and obviously much stronger drink, had recently come on the scene, and I actually did an entire video all about the London gin craze, so I'll put a link to that in the description. But essentially, it was very quickly seen as a drink for the poor and the dregs of society, and a sinful drink. And it is shown in Hogarth's other print, Gin Lane.
Wait, gin? Gin? That's so interesting. I didn't know this about gin.
Where London's poor live in squalor. They're fighting dogs for bones, neglecting their children, and then just dying in poverty. And one account from 1725 says that many of the poor chose to struggle with their necessities and to continue in a starving condition with the liberty of haunting the brandy shops. And
ah, yes. Ah, yes. Yes. But of course, the choice to be poor. Wild. It's just
such like houses, rather than submit to live regularly in plenty.
Oh my God.
In that quote, it was brandy, but very soon it would be gin that would become the leading culprit. They chose to drink gin. They chose to live like this. They chose to be poor. That became the thought. Before this, very often the poor were called unfortunates, meaning that they were poor, yes, but it wasn't anything that they did. It was fortune, literally, just circumstance that made them poor. But as the 18th century came to a close, it began to be seen that it was not fortune that did this, but rather their own iniquity that made them poor. This led to a change in how the poor were treated, especially in these institutions. It went from being charity to being more of a punishment, to trying to change their behavior by making things so uncomfortable in the workhouses that they would simply choose not to be in them, choose not to be poor anymore.
Does any, I just, Max! Everybody remember that my dono goal was choosing not to be poor for like the last year? I feel so seen.
It was very much the
Live,
mindset
laugh, lobotomy
of
or something.
Ebenezer Scrooge in A Christmas Carol, but that comes because that was very much the mindset of much of Victorian society. And this view was essentially written into law in 1834 with what was known as the New Poor Law. Here, the work in the workhouses really changed. While some people still did laundry and tailoring, shoemaking, basket weaving, there were a lot more harsher forms of work like bricklaying, chopping wood, or even stone breaking became common. There was even the literal bone-crushing work of crushing bones to be made into fertilizer. Animal bones, not your bones, but still bone crushing. This period also saw a standardization in the cuisine served to the inmates in poorhouses because at some of the poorhouses, namely rural locations, it was seen that they were eating too well, something known as pot-bellied philanthropy. These new laws enshrined something called the principle of less eligibility, which basically dictated that no aspect of life in the workhouse, including the food, should be superior or equal to the ordinary mode of subsistence of the laboring classes of the neighborhood. The worry was, if you feed them well, it will entice people to want to become poor or stay poor and live in these workhouses. And so...
Do we still hear this today about the doll? We still hear all this today. And it's not it, but the doll is a trap. It is a trap for a lot of people. And it's not because it's comfortable, it's unlivable for so many. But they do not make it easy to make a jump from the doll anywhere else. Like, you can't save for a car. Like, there's so much that is set up as a barrier for you to be stuck.
In 1835, the Poor Law Commissioner Charles Mott laid out daily diets for men, women, children under 9, and those people over 60. And it's not like he was being particularly cruel as he set up this diet. He just wanted it to be standardized and to make sure that people had just enough calories that would allow them to do the work that they were supposed to do in the workhouse. The new system gave able-bodied men 6 ounces of bread and 1.5 pints of gruel for breakfast, 5 ounces of meat and a half pound of potatoes, or 1.5 pints of soup for dinner, plus a little suet and rice pudding once a week. Then for supper, it was 6 ounces of bread and either some broth or 2 ounces of cheese. Then women received roughly the same thing, though only 5 ounces of bread instead of
52. The number of hours spent on hold waiting for Centrelink to answer a call about a MyGov message relating to a job search provider that was never used and didn't actually find anyone a job.
Literally. Ben, thank you for the 52 months. Your nose is pretty red. Are you sick? No, I just keep touching it. I just keep touching it, and it's probably just the lighting. No, it's just the lighting. I didn't put much makeup on. Because I couldn't be bothered. I've had a big couple of days.
6. Now, on the face of it, this lineup of meals really seems quite nutritious and more or as much as most people in Britain were getting. But while the quantity might have been there, the quality, it turns out, was absolutely not. When Charles Shaw wrote about his childhood in a workhouse in Staffordshire in the 1840s, he described his first encounter with workhouse skilly, the local term for gruel. I had heard of workhouse skilly, but had never before seen it. I had had poor food before this, but never any so offensively poor as this. By what rare culinary-making nausea and bottomless fatuitousness it could be made so sickening I never could make out. Simple meal and water, however small the amount of meal, honestly boiled, would be palatable. But this decoction of meal and water and mustiness and fustiness was most revolting to any healthy state. It might have been boiled in old clothes which had been worn upon sweating bodies for 70 years and 10. That workhouse skilly was the vilest compound I ever tasted, unutterably insipid, and it might never have been made in a country where either sugar or salt was known. And when a surgeon visited the Sheffield Union Workhouse, he recalled that I was invited to taste the dinner of the day, which happened to be soup. I was rash enough to take a breakfast cupful, with a piece of their excellent bread, and I paid the penalty of a severe attack of indigestion. Black beetles are a great nuisance and occasionally get into the food.
Yeah, this is the exact review I left the seafood place. It just all tasted fishy and bland and overcooked, and it was not good. It was so bad.
But vigorous steps are being taken to decimate them. Now, workhouse officials, called guardians, tried to make it so that the public didn't really know about how horrible the conditions could be. They would do things like invite newspapermen in to view the workhouse and give them food, but they would do so only in the best fashion, and they would clean everything just like I do when I have company over, so nobody can see how I actually live. This, of course, would lead to write-ups in newspapers, like in 1841, that said the inmates have recently dined. We taste the food which has constituted their meal, and we acknowledge that the suet pudding, the bread, and the cheese are, in quality, equal to what may be found in the larders of the wealthiest. Sure, Jan. But the public was, of course, not fooled, because too many real people were going...
Sure, Jan. What, the Brady Bunch? Max. Delightful.
...going in and out of the workhouses to keep that kind of thing under wraps. And so you get novels like Oliver Twist. Though one of my favorite chastisements of the food in the workhouse was actually printed in 1838 in newspapers across the country, and it is absolutely brilliant. It is a rewording of Act 4, Scene 1 of the play Macbeth, one of my favorite plays. It's the scene where the three witches are over the cauldron brewing something, and they say, double, double, toil and trouble. Instead of three witches, though, it's three guardians of the workhouse making food for the inmates. Thrice hath the dying pauper groaned, and once his starveling child hath moaned. Rotgut cries, 'tis time, 'tis time. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble, shell of oyster, chicken's claw, duckling's entrails, turkey's maw, measled pork and mouldy meal, clods and stickings, greasy heel. Here I have a strangled mole, lately taken from his hole. Add thereto the back of ferret, round about the cauldron stare it. Black gruel and white, green gruel and grey, mingle, 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 they that eat it may. Now for water make it thin, put of that a plenty in, that will make the paupers grin. I obviously didn't read the whole thing, it's really quite long, but all quite brilliant, so I'll actually include that in the next Tasting History newsletter, which you can sign up for at tastinghistory.com. Now, this and other public works, like Oliver Twist, actually did lead to public outcries, and there were occasional attempts at reforming the workhouses, but they never really stuck, because even as late as the 1890s, when a British politician named George Lansbury visited a workhouse in an official capacity, sort of an inspector, a post known as a guardian of the poor, he wrote that the food was mainly skilly, bread, margarine, cheese, and hard tough meat and vegetables, and occasionally doses of salted dried fish. On one visit, I inspected the supper of oatmeal porridge. On this occasion, the food was served up with pieces of black stuff floating around. On examination, we discovered it to be rat and mice manure.
How did anybody survive?
I called for the chief officer, who immediately argued against me, saying the porridge was good and wholesome. Very good, madam, said I, taking up a basinful and a spoon. Here you are. Eat one mouthful, and I will acknowledge I am wrong. Oh dear, no, said the fine lady. The food is not for me, and is good and wholesome enough for those who want it. I stamped and shouted around till both doctor and master arrived.
This is so diabolical. Like, why? Like...
Both of whom pleaded it was all a mistake, and promptly served cocoa and bread and margarine. There was one scandal which really raised a collective eyebrow that took place in March of 1897 when a Mr. John Loeb, or Loeb, I'm not sure how he pronounced it, who was on the board of governors for one of the workhouses, decided that they should not probably, after every single weekly meeting, have an entire dinner within feet of the very poorly fed paupers who were living in the workhouse. He thought a lunch should be just fine. He felt that the business occupying an hour and a half does not justify a dinner consisting of fish of 3 kinds, joints of mutton or beef, poultry, a variety of puddings and sweets, cheese, butter, biscuits, and celery, with a selection of hock, claret, champagne, and whiskey. Neither does he think that a dessert of pineapples, almonds, and raisins is warranted by the proceedings. The knowledge that the guardian's table groans under plenty, whilst the inmates have to content themselves with the fare of the workhouse, he says, accentuates discontent, envy, and hatred, and is subversive of the discipline of the institution. Mr. Lobb has no objection to the light luncheon, but he thinks that the dinners at the house should be stopped. A vote was taken, and of course, Mr. Lobb's proposal was very soundly defeated, and the grand dinners continued. It wasn't until 1929 that the workhouses began to close and new forms of public assistance began to replace them in British society. But before we hurrah the closure of the workhouse, let us try to eat one of the meals that those inside would have eaten, minus the rat droppings. So after that half hour of cooking, the dumplings should have puffed up nicely, and the stew is ready to serve. And here we are, scouse and suet dumplings from a Victorian workhouse.
It doesn't
So is it the
look
prettiest
bad.
dish you ever done seen? Absolutely not. It really doesn't look super appetizing, but it doesn't smell bad. In fact, it smells quite good. I mean, it's just meat and vegetables, right? So here we go. This is a lot thicker than I thought it would be.
It's fine.
It's actually quite good. I mean, it's really thick stew with vegetables and meat. I mean, it tastes just like a regular meat stew. I don't know what I was expecting, but it's very good. Let me try one of the dumplings here.
Yeah, try one of
So the
the
dumplings are very thick, a little fluffy, but also kind of dense.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah. They're good too.
Delicious.
Ah.
Doesn't taste of parsley at all, which is surprising. So much parsley. Not gonna lie, this is actually really good.
Okay.
This whole bowl.
No way.
Now, this experiment does not mean to say that the food at the workhouse was good, because while the ingredients themselves, or rather the dish itself, is good, it really depends on the quality of the ingredients. And there are records of pieces of meat being so tough that they were inedible, and instead that they would use them outside, basically like you would a tennis ball, kind of throwing it around. Often the flour had bugs and weevils in it, or rat droppings. It could be, semi-rotten vegetables. A lot of times they would have a lot more water in it, so it wouldn't be really thick. It would just be watery, and you're barely getting anything. So depends on where you are, when you are, who's in charge, and yeah, it's a nice thing that the
They're the little
workhouses
bugs
don't
that you
exist
get
anymore.
in flour.
So as I mentioned, I did do a video on gin a while back, and it's actually one of my favorite videos. I also did a wonderful video on gruel. I'm patting myself on the back here. Did an excellent video on gruel, so I'll put links to both gruel and gin videos down in the description, and I will see you next time on Tasting History.
Gruel and gin. Max, you're a fucking star. That's all I have to say about that. Everybody go like, comment.
This is a full-blown
on the
house
video.
deposit. So
Hi. Oh my god.
Hello. So I was reading Wikipedia the other night trying to fall asleep, and you know how it goes. You start reading about Finland and then somehow end up reading about marine biology. So anyway, did you know that the swordfish only has a single natural predator? I know it sounds impossible, like a myth whispered by a marine biologist late at night. But that's because most people haven't heard about the penfish, which is thought to be mightier.
"95 months, eh? And we got the penfish. I regret nothing." That's really... Well, you know what? I'm really glad you regret nothing, because you've been here an awfully long time. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for the 95 months. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Yeah, I don't let anybody leave. What do you mean? Why would you want to leave? No one wants to leave. I think there's only like one song we can start with tonight. Just based on the previous video. Just so everyone knows. I think there's only one song we can really start with. Where is love? Does it fall from skies above? Is it underneath the willow tree that I've been dreaming of? Where is she? Ooh, I close my eyes to see. Will I ever know the sweet hello that's meant for only me? Who can say where she may hide? Must I travel far and wide till I am beside the someone who I can mean something to? Where is love? Who can say where she may hide? Must I travel far and wide till I am beside the someone who I can mean something to? Where is That's the little one that Oliver sings, and then I would love to sing that. Donnie, thank you for the request.
Whole New World.
I would love to sing A Whole New World. Thanks, Sir Giles. I agree. I agree.
I can show you the world.
Just our totally average singer bringing us an exceptional performance again. No
Tell
big deal.
me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride, a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming.
A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with
Now
you.
I'm in a whole new world with you.
Unbelievable sights, indescribable feelings, soaring, tumbling, freewheeling through an endless diamond sky. A whole new world.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
100,000
Hold your breath,
things
it
to
gets
see.
better.
I'm like a shooting star. I've come so far. Can't go back to where I
whole
used to
new
be.
world.
Every turn a
With
surprise.
new horizons
Every
to
moment red
pursue.
letter. I'll chase them anywhere.
There's time to spare. Let me share this whole new world with you. A whole new world. That's where we'll be.
That's where we'll be.
A thrilling chase
A wondrous place
for you and me.
Sorry, I had a testy pop in the middle there. Thank you, Dottie. And Linda, thank you again for the $5. That is very generous. Thank you. Now, I feel like in some ways this song is a little bit problematic, but it's another one from Oliver. So, as long as he needs me. Oh, yes, he does need me. In spite of what you see, I'm sure that he needs me. Who else would love him still when they've been used so ill? He knows I always will, as long as he needs me. I miss him so much when he is gone, but when he's near me, I don't let on the way I feel inside. The love I have to hide. The hell I've got my pride, as long as he needs me. He doesn't say the things he should. He acts the way he thinks he should. But all the same, I'll play this game his way, as long as he needs me. I know where I must on steadfastly, as long as he needs me, as long as life is long, I'll love him right or wrong, and somehow I'll be strong, as long as he needs me. If you are lonely, then you will know when someone needs you, you love them so. I won't betray his trust, though people say I must. I've got to stay true, just as long as he needs me. Lol. I'm a Poggies, by the way. Welcome on in. That's lower than I thought it was. Like, it's quite low, hey. Not me reading the comments. Stop, that's so cute. Did this show earlier this year.
At the end of the day,
Oh, I would love to sing that. Did this show earlier this year. Our Nancy's did a great show. Getting to spend my last time with them as Oliver was a joy. The subtle brag. Like, yeah, I was Oliver, actually. I love that. I love that. What a star. What a star.
Like, I could not tell you the last time I paid for anything.
right here waiting,
Oh.
Richard Marks.
Well, I would love to do a live learn. Firstly, we're going to go to the workhouses. Hi, little monkey. At the end of the day, you're another day older. And that's all you can say for the life of the poor. It's a struggle, it's a war, and there's nothing that anyone's giving. One more day standing about, what is it for? One day less to be living. At the end of the day, you're another day colder. And the shirt on your back doesn't keep out the chill. And the righteous hurry past, they don't hear the little ones crying. And the winter is coming on fast, ready to kill. One day nearer to dying. At the end of the day, there's another day dawning. And the sun in the morning is waiting to rise. Like the waves crash on the sand, like a storm that'll break any second. There's a hunger in the land, there's a reckoning still to be reckoned. There's gonna be hell to pay. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, you get nothing for nothing. Sitting flat on your bum doesn't buy any bread. There are children back at home, and the children have got to be fed. And you're lucky to be in a job and in a bed. And we're counting our blessings. Have you seen how the foreman is doing today? with his terrible breath and his wandering hands. It's before his little Fontaine will give him his way. Take a look at his trousers, you'll see where he stands. And the boss, he never knows that the foreman is always on heat. If Fontaine doesn't look out, watch how she goes. She'll be out on the street. At the end of the day, it's another day over, with enough in your pocket to last for a week. Pay the landlord, pay the shop. Keep on grafting as long as you're able. Keep on grafting till you drop, or it's back to the crumbs off the table. You gotta pay your way at the end of the day. And what if we hear little innocent sister? Come on, Fontaine, let's have all the news. Dear Fontaine, you must send us more money. Your child needs a doctor, there's no time to lose. Give that letter to me, it is none of your business. With a husband at home and a bit on the side. Is there anyone here who can swear before God she has nothing to fear, she has nothing to...
Danny Boy from XD.
What is this fighting all about? Will someone tear these two apart? This is a factory, not a circus. Now come on, ladies, settle down. I run a business of repute. I am the mayor of this town. I look to you to sort this out and be as patient as you can. Now someone say how this began. At the end of the day, she's the one who began it. There's a kid that she's hiding in some little town. There's a man she has to pay. You can guess how she picks up the extra. You can bet she's earning a keep sleeping around. And the boss wouldn't like it. Yes, it's true, there's a child, and the child is my daughter. And her husband abandoned us, leaving us flat. Now she lives with an innkeeper man and his wife, and I pay for the child. What's the matter with that? At the end of the day, she'll be nothing but trouble. And there's trouble for all, and there's trouble for one. While we're earning our daily bread, she's the one with her hands in the butter. You must send the slut away, or we're all gonna end in the gutter, and it's us who'll have to pay. At the end of the day, I might have known the bitch could bite, I might have known the cat had claws, I might have guessed your little secret. Ah yes, the virtuous Fontaine, who keeps herself so pure and clean. You'd be the cause, I have no doubt, of any trouble here about you play a virgin in the light, but need no urgent in the night. She's been laughing at you while she's having your men. She'll be nothing but trouble again and again. You must take her to death. Right, my girl. On your way. Did you like that, chat? Now we have a live learn. It's Right Here Waiting by Richard Marx. Oh, okay. Da, 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 da. God, the hair in the 80s was wild. Wherever you go, whatever you do, be right here waiting for day my heart breaks, be right here waiting for you. Took for granted all the times, thought it would last somehow. And in the laughter, I taste the tears. Yeah, baby. Wherever you go, whatever you do, survive this romance. I want it and I'm with you. Good chance. Oh, not the guitar solo. All right, let's see what happens. Let me try it in the female key. Let's just have a look. Let's see what happens. Oceans apart, day after day, and I slowly go insane. I hear your voice on the line, but it doesn't stop the pain. If I see you next to never, then how can we say forever? Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. Whatever it takes, or how my heart breaks, I will be right here waiting for you. I took for granted all the times that I thought would last somehow. I hear the laughter, I taste the tears, but I can't get near you now. Oh, can you see it, babe? You've got me going crazy. Wherever you go, whatever you do, I So my voice is dehydrated. It doesn't sound good. Oh, can you see it, baby? You got me going crazy. Wherever you go, whatever you do, I will be right here waiting for you. Whatever it takes, or how my heart breaks, I will be right here waiting for you. I hope that was okay, Dottie. I think I might sing it to the regular track next time, even if it's a bit low. It just makes it a little sad, you know? You can blame Magic the Gathering for my dehydrated voice because the cocktails were nice, alright? That's all I'm saying. I'm not accepting any responsibility for my current state because I am. What do you want from me? You know? What do you want from me? You know? Anybody who has joined us recently, how has your last couple of days been? I was obviously in Sydney. Have you been doing anything fun? We're up to Danny Boy. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside. The summer's gone and all the flowers dying. Thanks, Sanger.
Boy!
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
Sleep token.
Great request. My voice is very dehydrated. It probably sounds a bit tight. My baby don't mess around because she loves me so, and this I know for sure. But does she really want it, but can't stand to see me walk out that door? Don't try to fight the feeling, 'cause the thought alone is killing me right now. Thank God for Mom and Dad for sticking through together, 'cause we don't know how. You think you got it, oh, you think you got it, but got it, just don't get it when there's nothing at all. We get together, oh, we get together, but separate's always better when there's feelings involved. You say that nothing is forever, then what makes love the exception? Why are we so in denial when we know that we're not happy? You're very welcome, Apoggies. Thank you for the request. I can't believe the day I have tomorrow. I just don't understand how life keeps coming at me this hard and this fast. I have to drive 4 hours tomorrow. And I have to do it because I have no other day that it's possible. I have to go pick up stuff for my operation. I have to pick up Pixel's meds. And I'm going to pick up my cards so I can crack them. That'll be fun. But I just know driving that far is hard work. But I got it. I'm just going to put on my audiobook and I'm going to come back so healed. 7 a.m. to midnight? What the fuck is that shift, Champagne? Oh, I'm still reading The Courage to Be Happy. I'm only like 3/4 of the way through. So that one. Maybe I should download one more audiobook. Oh, I would love to sing that Karma.
The Sound of Silence. Hello darkness, my old friend.
And then I have an event at night. Like, are you joking? At least I will get to see my mama. Ugh, that'll be exciting. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more, people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices had never shared. No one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool said I, you do not know, silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you, take my arms that I might reach you, but my words like silent raindrops fell and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence. Hi, Haversan. Oh, Bidens, you're so nice. Night, Sir Giles. Get some sleep. I did a bit of a later start tonight because I had a sore tummy. I'm also just, I worked all day. Literally all day. The only breaks I took were to walk Pixel. I didn't even enjoy eating that burger. I mean, I did have like a 20-minute shower. Don't judge me. I really needed it. Sydney was so good. Sydney was so much fun. It really was. I don't know. I love playing cards. I really do. And I was so grateful to be considered because, I don't know. I don't really, this will probably be my one sponsorship for the year. But yeah, no, I've never been flown anywhere before. So that was pretty cool. Yeah. Half your colleagues play MTG? Well, fucking show them my channel, bro. People need third spaces more than ever, and I think Magic the Gathering is having its fucking moment in the sun. And deservedly so. But yeah, I don't know, it was very cool. Worked? Okay, streamer. No, Harvestside, I worked all day. I worked all day making content. All day. And I mean, maybe it doesn't sound like it, but I really did. If you saw the footage I was sifting through, the editing I was doing, the voiceovers I was trying to figure out, the script, the even being able to say it, trying not to sound dumb, trying to make sure I tell a story, trying to pick the right music, trying to make sure I do all the things. But I'm also like not complaining. I just worked all day. I'm not complaining about it. I would never complain. I'll complain about a lot of stuff, but I wouldn't complain about that. Louis, you would know. You would know. It's just fiddly. It's just really fiddly. But we'll get there. But I'm also not very good at editing. I hate looking at my face. I hate listening to my voice. It's kind of crazy that I'm a content creator, but I really hate editing, It's why I don't have a good social media presence. But if you don't follow me on Instagram or TikTok or any of them, if you could go do that for me, I would be forever grateful if you're in here. Yeah, I'll fix them, Champagne. Just don't tell them your username and be like, I know this MTG streamer. She's really cool. I'll fix them. Not until I get my peace prize. Who are you, Trump? Threatening me with your fucking peace prize. You're a streamer. Editing isn't really the main part. It's never really been for me, but the issue is that on Twitch there is no discoverability. So if you want to grow, you literally have to make short form content on TikTok and Reels and stuff. And I've never really done that. I don't know. I think I probably hit my ceiling, of growth and what content is for me, I guess. I feel like that sometimes. Oh no, it's cool to be a trier. I have no problem being a trier. Yeah, but that's just more noise, Jess. I don't know. I have a very big problem taking up space like that. The streamers who do well are often people who have other people promote them. That's why all the drama with live streams fails with the moderators is so funny, because basically those moderators control the drama that people get access to. So I don't want 50k viewers in no time, Champagne. I don't think I would handle that sort of growth. Like even in sub-only mode, we wouldn't be able to have these conversations, and I don't even know how I would deal with it. Also, Tasty had quit. We'd have to find, like, so many mods. If I had 50k viewers, Jess, I could ban you. For now, you scrape by. It's just because it's not very good euphemisticism.
Work song.
You're not wrong, Tasty. I reckon the limit is about 500. But I would really like 500. But I do think the limit for a good chatting stream is about 500. You can maybe sometimes, if the chat's slow, you can get away with it, maybe up to 1,000 viewers, but that's about it, I think. Yeah, it's fine, Tasty. Boys working on empty. Is that the kind of way to face the burning heat? I just think about my baby. I'm so full of love I could barely eat. There's nothing sweeter than my baby. I never want ones from the cherry tree. 'Cause my baby's sweet as can be. She gave me 2 days just from kissing me. When my time comes around, lay me gently in the cold dark earth. No grave can hold my body down. I'll crawl home to her boys when my baby found me. I was 3 days on a drunken sin. I woke with the walls around me. Nothing in a room but an empty crib. And I was burning up a fever. I didn't care much how long I lived, but I swear I thought I dreamed her. She never asked me once about the wrong I did. When my time comes around, lay me gently in the cold dark earth. No grave can hold my body down. I'll crawl home to her when my time comes around. Lay me gently in the cold dark earth. No grave can hold my body down. I'll crawl to her. My babe would never fret none about what my hands and my body done. If the Lord don't forgive me, I'd still have my baby, and my babe would have me. When I was kissing on my baby, and she put her love down, soft and sweet. In the lowland light I was free. Heaven and hell were words to me. When my time comes around, lay me gently in the cold dark earth. No grave can hold my body down. I'll crawl home to her when my time comes around. Lay me gently in the cold dark earth. No grave can hold my body down. I'll crawl home to her. Thanks, my puggies.
I told you things.
Arclight, is this on the list? Well, I told you things that I never said. You're the golden boy and my worst regret. So I cut the cost and I limit feeling. You were only once to the fade to black. Took your cigarettes and poems back. You were in my hands, now you're on my ceiling. How's the city been? You get recognized at the local bar by the drunken guys and the starlit girls. They claw for pieces. Do you give a few? Do you like that? Do you freak out or get sad? Do you go home or am I reaching? Oh, I know it. I do know it. Hey, Guess what? Yesterday I stopped and played it safe instead of walking straight to you to say, stay, never mind, okay, don't mean it, plus you've changed, not much, but just enough to throw away fake fantasies and games. I've lost a year, it's strange, composed 100 ways to tell you, hey, what if I took your call as more than just a call, as writing on the walls you build this cage, lost color in my face, you're fair and I'm insane, hallucination, shame, guilt, pain, more pain, more pain, more pain, more pain. I told you things that I never said to anybody else. I regret them, but I'll pack it up and practice leaving. You were all it was, to the fade to black, to the yellow glow, turned a little sad. You were in my hands, but you couldn't leave it. I forgot I knew that song. Harklight. I forgot I knew it. I didn't know. That one was I Told You Things by Gracie Abrams. I did forget that I knew it though. Crazy. Oh, fuck. Chat, it's 11:11. You should make a wish and I might go to bed. I'm back Saturday during the day, which will be really fun. And then Sunday night I have a sponsored stream. So that will also be really fun. And then remember, next week you get early streams in the week, but then I'm off to have my operation. Well, procedure. It's not really an operation. The reverse Hobbit party. Hey, Wayne. Oh no, early in the week. Sorry, I basically already have a schedule now because obviously I have to plan around my operation. So, you will get, what I'll do is I'll take Monday off after the sponsored stream and then, oh, I don't really have time. You won't get enough streams if I do that because obviously the 24 hours before you get a colonoscopy, you've got to do the thing and I have to go to my mom's, which is Thursday, and then my procedure is Friday. Well, you definitely get Tuesday and Wednesday night. I might just have to work Monday night too, or you won't get enough streams. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights, and then I will do Sunday during the day for next week's schedule. Because the 30th is my procedure, so a day on either side. Seems about right. I don't know. I think I can handle it at the moment. I feel pretty good about myself, so. It's not really anything out of the ordinary. It's a colonoscopy and an endoscopy, and they might take some biopsies and tell me I'm dying. I'm not sure. Or it might be fine, but I have to be put under anesthesia. So it's like a day procedure. You go in at like 8 a.m. and you're in there for a few hours and you come out. Oh, you're a month behind, Sanger. I think it's really important. I haven't had a stable tummy, and it's important to check everything is, my CT is good, my ultrasound was good. This is kind of the last thing that really needs to be good. That being said, the guy who did my ultrasound was kind of like, he did mention endometriosis, but I'm not going to deal with that. I've had a real bad week, but I think it's getting better now. I really hope it gets better for you. I wish everybody could have had the 21 days that I started this year with. I'm going to try and keep them going. But tomorrow's a big day, so I've got to have a good attitude about it. And in order to have a good attitude about it, I need to go have a nap and some food. Maybe some more food. I don't know what I want, though. I don't really feel like anything. Hey, wait, guess what? Yesterday I stopped and played it safe. Instead of walking straight to you to say, hey, never mind, okay. I'll raid Zach. The next 20 days will be of happiness instead. Yeah. How much longer are you going to be on? I'm done now, Ruggers. I'm raiding out. I've only did 3 hours ish, I guess, tonight, just because it's just a big week. No, you take care, everyone. I haven't played any Dota in a while. Guys, be good to yourselves. I never want to invalidate anyone's feelings for feeling sad about the state of the world, but you got this. Eat some yummy food, talk to some nice people, and just put one foot in front of the other and realize what's in your control and what you can do and what you can't do, and it's different for everyone, and then go from there. I'll see you Saturday during the day. And I'll have my packs. I'll have my packs to open. Okay, bye.